And we're taking special effort there to show not so much discussion segments from the program, but film segments.
Yeah, film media is really important. I have a friend, Gerard Ungerman. He's been making documentaries. He's going across country right now doing a documentary about respect, asking people what does respect mean to you? And all of these are ways to let people sort of stand in other people's footsteps, you know. Like when he asked me what respect means for me, you know, it's the basic meaning. But what came up though was a lot of times what we call respect for another person is actually fear. We tend to fear our kings and our queens and our presidents, and we call that respect, but in a deeper sense it's not. And true respect is something that we all want to get and we all want to give. And I think if we can just start from that basic foundation of just giving people respect and expecting it back, you know, I think that would be a good start.
Yeah, absolutely. And how is respect created? You know, one could ask, particularly when there are differences, cultural or religious differences. You know, I think Global Spirit is informed by that yearning for understanding and respect for the other. How does that happen? I would say it happens through actually knowing someone who's of the other. You know, if you've got any friend from Iran or any friends from Saudi Arabia or from Libya, a true friend, it's harder to generalize and say all Arabs or all Muslims or all Shia or all Sunni. All of a sudden it's taking on a very personal, distinct dimension, and that's what we're trying to do, is introduce guests who, if you haven't met a Tibetan Lama, you know, yourself, or had one over for tea, meet this guy. Enter his world. Imagine why he's talking about human addictions the way he does, and how they are so directly connected to suffering,
right?
Addictions from our ego, etc. And step into his shoes, and I think whatever the shoes are, the hope is that one comes away enriched and, again, beyond tolerant, a kind of embrace that's extending outwards to humanity, really.
Right.
Yeah. So
when is your show going to be airing? Is it best to go to Huffington Post blog or
it's best to go to our website, globalspirit.tv, and look up PBS broadcast schedule, and it shows every state, which localities in every state it's playing and what time it's playing. And then you just check on our program list, so you could actually plot out which program is playing on which date. I think it is playing in Chico, but it's airing all over the nation, and we're getting great comments from people all over the nation. So the main site is globalspirit.tv.
Okay, yeah, I'll be sure to get that information out there to our communities up here.
You can watch shorter video segments from each program there as well. So, and there's a 24-minute sampler that I encourage people to see, because it really gives a sense of the breadth of the series.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I went to your cemproductions.org. That's a nice website too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We have a
lot of film material, and hopefully a lot of inspiring film material up there. We've had such great web people working with us, some of them donating lots of time to get this meaningful content out there for people, to people, you know, for free.
Looks like you've been on a journey for a while, Stephen.
Yeah. Well, I think this is my own, you know, I did a lot of traveling in India in my 20s, and Afghanistan and Middle East, and would come back and tell my neighborhood friends in San Francisco about the world, and they were so interested. And then I realized, God, if I had a camera, if I photographed any of these incredible people. I mean,
Right.
I'd have something to show, and that, of course, led to film and filmmaking, and it's all been part of that search for me. And cameras sometimes open doors to people's lives. Back to respect. There's an awful lot of respect that goes on when you ask someone to let you in.
Right.
You know, particularly to go where we're trying to go, which is inside the inside. It's a very sacred place and requires a lot of trust. So,
well, in the words of Khalil Gibran, I think you've made your love, you know, your work is your love made manifest. You know, it looks like you're doing a good job at that, Stephen.
thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
is there anything else you'd like to add to this?
Just to say, it's wonderful to be here. Thanks for your genuine interest in what we're doing. I think you're doing a great service by curating or passing on to your viewers and listeners things that you feel that are important out there, and I'm glad to be included as one of those series, one of those endeavors.
Thank you very much, Stephen. That means a lot. All right. Just saying thanks a lot, Stephen, and for everything you're doing, and it's really important in today's world. You know, I wrote a book called To Believe or Not to Believe, the social and neurological consequences of belief systems. And the idea is to get people to stop pretending like they know things. And because we have a whole world now that once you get a group polarized, it's hard to get them out of that corner, because they start filtering out anything that conflicts with previously held beliefs. So it's almost like we need to reformat society and just start from zero again. And it's a difficult thing to do, but I tell you, talking to neuroscientists like Andrew Newberg, people like that, that's really Sam Harris, they're looking into this, and they're really seeing that once you say you believe something, you know, you say, okay, I believe this. Well, if you don't know it for sure, it's really dangerous, because the moment you say you believe something, your mind stops thinking about it. And what you do neurologically is you start setting up filters, and once the filters go up, you start breaking neural synapses to information that conflicts with that belief, and you get identified with it. That's why you say, I am a Christian, I am a Republican. We become so identified, and at that point you start seeing a completely different world that really substantiates whatever your belief is. And it's a dangerous place to be in a world where our cultures are colliding. So I guess we're all just doing our little part to put information out there to open people's minds and their hearts. You know, it's a lot of what's going on right here, even with you and I. You know, it's like Rumi mentions, like language and ideas, all this stuff will disappear at some point. And I can feel there's a little bit of a heart connection here, you know, and this is what it's really about. I think this is the importance of media that's video, because it transfers over somehow in this amazing kind of a way.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
You know, they say in filmmaking and television sometimes there's 3 levels of communication. One is if you can't feel it, then at least show it. If you can't show it, then tell it. You know, so there's these hierarchies of. Anyway, grateful to be part of your show, and thanks for your kind words. Keep up the good work.
Yep. Yeah, and you enjoy your day there on your boat.
Please send me a link when you get it posted.
Absolutely, Stephen. I will.
All right, brother. Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.